gaining momentum. Gaining momentum as we head into 2024. Should be excited about. Most importantly, I think, besides the work that's being done with the survey, and the state of play for our community, is recognizing the new image and energy that the mass media or the communications group is bringing to the table. And Robin, I think that's probably where the best place to kick off is to talk about Move Together KC. Natalie, you agree?
You kind of cut out a little bit, but I think I got the gist.
Oh.
Yes.
I kind of want Robin to take the lead on talking about the new rebrand of the Kansas City Physical Activity Plan.
Sounds good. So for the past 12 months, the members of the marketing and communication sector have been engaged with an outside firm called Overflow, who have been designing our communications and marketing strategy for the Kansas City Physical Activity Plan as a whole. The campaign is titled Move Together KC, and it will officially launch in January 2024. There is a full, I think we've got a content calendar mapped out for the first 6 months of 2024, and then we'll develop the second half of the year, as we see how engagement and the responses are to the first 6 months of the campaign. But it involves several different strategies that I'm not a marketing person, so I'll do my best to explain it, but it's both things that content that we're actively creating ourselves that describes the work that we're doing as a plan overall and then within each of the sectors. And then also we are going to be taking advantage of content that our organizational partners are creating as well, because we know that they're all doing great work around physical activity in our region. So we'll also be sharing and highlighting their work as well. If you want to learn more about the campaign, you'll hear more, first of all, from us as we roll it out beginning in January. We will also be having a special presentation by the Overflow team at the KC HLC quarterly meeting. That meeting is tomorrow, December 14th, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Natalie just threw the link in the channel. I think we're going to have a lot of people watching this recording, so you will have missed tomorrow's presentation by the time you watch this recording. That's okay. You can go to our YouTube channel, and maybe Natalie, if you could throw that in the link too, or in the chat box too, and just check back there, in a couple weeks, and we should have the presentation from Overflow uploaded there. So any questions about anything from anyone?
I have just a little update, and it kind of ties into the work that I'm trying to do in concert with Children's Mercy Hospital, Kansas City Physical Activity Plan, my presence here on the sports sector. And then what I'm trying to do with ShareWaves, the foundation that I run that helps kids play sports. And I met 2 weeks ago with Children's Mercy's Illuminate group, the behavioral health division of Children's Mercy, to talk to them about how they are creating strategies to help um, um, treat and care for kids who are presenting with mental health illness and mental health issues at the point of care at the ER, and then within the Children's Mercy system. They're raising a tremendous amount of money to help meet the needs of our community and the kids that are suffering from issues around their mental health, depression, isolation, loneliness. I am working really hard to present to them a prevention strategy that includes physical activity as one of the things that they incorporate into what they're doing with this Illuminate plan. The meeting went really well. I was with one of the directors of behavioral health, Emily Snow, who came to Children's Mercy about 6 months ago from Blue Cross and Blue Shield. And I also met with another really awesome nurse practitioner that works on the behavioral health side that is interested in prevention. They have asked me to meet with a gentleman named Larry Hewley. Do you know who that is?
Jeffrey Huey.
Jeffrey Hewley. Yeah, Hewley.
Yeah.
And I will meet with him on January 8th. And Robin, I was going to see about what you thought about you maybe joining me to that meeting. But I also want to incorporate the Move Together KC logo and information about what we're doing in that meeting as part of the presentation. So I think it's a really great next step. I'm excited to meet with him. Emily's going to kind of walk me into it, and they would like to know more about what it is that we're trying to do with this plan and with the Aspen Institute and with the other research study that we've initiated to identify the physical activity for kids across the city. And it all kind of seems like, a potential perfect storm with a desire on the outside looking in to incorporate prevention, physical activity as part of this Illuminate campaign.
Yeah, Jeffrey's, I don't know his title, but he's in charge of the community programs at.
Yeah, Director of Community Engagement.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know what that means, but he's new and he doesn't quite know all the different things that are happening, but they think that he's the right next person for us to talk to. So
Yeah, great.
Anyway.
Well, if that gets on the books and you want me to attend, I'm happy to do so.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to you offline.
Yeah, sounds good. Great.
Next up on the agenda is usually we talk about a little bit about updates and stuff. There's really it's the Aspen Institute. Since Sabrina's here, we might as well move on to that and talk about getting an update on the survey that has been taking place throughout the last 3 months. Sounds like numbers are good. I'm excited to hear more. I did spend about a half an hour with Jennifer Lerner Brown and Ruby Avelia. Did Ruby join us?
Ruby's here.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, let's introduce Ruby. And so I got to have a really great engagement with them this morning, talking about ShareWaves, but also really about the whole landscape here in Kansas City. And we committed to try to reconnect again because there's so much to talk about. But it was really great to be with you guys this morning, and excited that you've joined us for this meeting today. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right. Do you mind if we put up a little deck?
Nope. Let's
All
do
right.
that.
Maybe I'll just give a quick pause, just because I was wondering, maybe we have a new person, I think, on attending the meeting, Reagan. Reagan, do you want to introduce yourself just real quick? And then we can go around and do our introductions as well.
Hey guys, I'm Reagan.
Yeah,
I
sorry
work
about that part.
I work for Dr. Leitner for Move More, Get More, which is a physical activity programming for middle school kids in Kansas City. The hopes of me coming on here was kind of to recruit somebody that could be a coach for us, but we've kind of filled those spots. But mainly, I'm just here to listen. I have seen the Aspen Institute survey going around for us, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, if there's anything I can do to help, let me know. And if you know of anybody who might be interested in being a coach for some middle school kids to get them active after school, just go ahead and send them Dr. Leitner's way.
Great, excellent. Thanks for
Reagan,
introducing
I'd be
me.
happy. Oh, sorry. If
Yeah.
you have information, I'd be happy to share it in our newsletter with our mailing list too.
Okay, awesome.
That's great. Well, I'm Robin Shook. I'm the director of the KCHLC. Natalie, do you want to give a quick introduction to yourself? And then we can hand it over to the Aspen team.
Sure. My name's Natalie Updike. I work with Dr. Shook at the Kansas City Healthy Lifestyles Collaborative, part of Children's Mercy. And then I support several sectors of our Kansas City Physical Activity Plan, one being the sports sector. Okay, Aspen team.
Alrighty. Oh, Ruby, do you want to put up the slides? I guess we'll introduce ourselves and to, I guess, some other folks if we don't, to the recording, who we don't necessarily know. But hi everyone, I'm Sabrina McDonald here with my colleague Ruby Avila. We're from the Aspen Institute Project Play team. Wanted to give you a little, tell you a little about our project and ongoing youth survey and those updates. With the support from Children's Mercy, we launched the State of Play Kansas City to analyze the region and the current research, as well as conduct our own and convene leaders. Across the Kansas City metro area, we're interviewing and convening key stakeholders, collecting data through our youth survey, which we'll go into greater detail shortly. We'll be hosting focus groups with kids, coaches, parents in the early next year. And then in the spring, we'll be hosting an event with local leaders to share our research and vet recommendations. And then following that, we'll release a report with our findings and final recommendations. Okay. So Project Play conducts a lot of research at the community, state, and national levels. Our goal is to create a system where youth are at the center of their experience and will go on to lead active and healthy adult lives. And then to continue that cycle on with their kids. I'm sure you all know the health and lifetime benefits of active individuals. So we'll keep on going. So now we're going into more depth with our youth survey. Ruby.
So, as we mentioned, we want to center our youth voices at the core of this report, and this needs to be supported by adults. So we want to have youth with the voice and choice over their activities, meaning the adults are listening and hearing to what they want and need out of a youth sport program. Health and safety are prioritized, and trained leaders create developmentally appropriate experiences for them. And when we center youth voices, then we can find out what the issues are directly affecting them, and we can find solutions to address those issues.
So the youth survey is a set of questions across 3 domains: youth sport preferences, rationale for participation, and non-participation, which includes questions about safety, accessibility, and youth-led drivers, and then the relationships between youth and adults in the context of sport. The survey is at a 3rd grade reading level with icons and accessibility options. It's also available in English and Spanish through a simple switch on the first page. It should take about 10 to 15 minutes to complete. And we do not collect any personally identifiable information. Next slide. So here's a sample question from the survey asking about regular participation. Any respondent can skip or give a non-answer. I'm putting the test link into the chat if you do not have it already. This is for adults only. If you want to flip through the survey here.
So our distribution strategy, we want to target 3 main entities: school districts, community-based organizations, and parks and rec departments. They all have connections with youth, and we find that this strategy gets it out to a big population. So these organizations can generate unique URLs so that they can see their own organizational data. And there's one general link for Kansas City, otherwise, if someone does not request for a specific link.
Okay, so a little update on the survey and some of the demographics. So to date, we have 3,868 surveys, which is a really great number and such a spike from just a couple weeks ago. But we also found that the majority of these surveys are coming from Clay County, which is great, but we also are targeting a very large area. So we'd love to be able to get into some other counties. So here are the demographics of the survey respondents so far. It's a majority white sample with 42%, 17% Black, 9% Hispanic or Latino, 4% Asian. And then for gender, we're seeing like a relatively balanced split, but we'd love to have more girls take the survey. And then for grade band, we have a lot of elementary and middle school numbers, which is great. But we are still looking for that high school push. So I know we're covering a lot of ground. So we're requesting your help to get surveys from Wyandotte, Jackson, and Cass counties specifically. We are working with KCK, PS, and some other school districts, but would really appreciate it if you could connect us with any other school districts, and also like any sport providers who haven't been sent the survey. I mean, they would be really, really grateful for that. Does anyone have any questions?
How does this compare to other surveys you've done in other communities?
In terms of,
The numbers and the demographic splits.
so we're doing well in terms of just, I think on the like pure number basis, we're looking pretty good, but we want to be able to talk about the whole area or talk about the area as a whole, and have like statistically significant data so we could talk about the different regions and different like different cities as like at great as detail as possible, and be able to make statements about that. I think so far we're looking, I think we'd love to have a little more diversity in the sample, but in terms of race, but I think we're at a good trajectory so far. I think getting into like those urban school districts will be really helpful in getting those numbers.
This is great info. Do we know how we got so many from Clay County?
So we have they have their own unique URL. I believe it was through the Parks and Recs department that shared it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so not a school district, you think it was Parks and Rec, huh?
Mhm. But yeah, let me, I can look into that and just make sure, see who asked for it and who's been sharing it. But yeah, the numbers have been ticking up all last week into this week.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's great, that we've got such a strong response there, and makes me optimistic that if we can get this in to the right people, we can get a similar response in some of the other counties and other cities. Maybe, just so we don't take up the time here, I guess maybe, we can, or I guess it maybe makes sense to maybe, I'll put this on Natalie, maybe have you guys meet with Natalie and just go over all the context that you've had so far and see if we can, you know, reach out to some of them. And I don't wanna, since this is.
Yeah, that
recorded,
actually,
yeah,
that's a
since
great
this is-
idea.
Yeah,
We can, now we can coordinate our efforts too, a little bit more, than we have been. That's,
Yeah,
how
I'd be
long
happy
are
to do
you,
that.
sorry. I was wondering
go ahead.
how long you're gonna keep the survey open? What's the?
so we wanted to close at the end of the year, but I think it will probably extend into mid-January. If we can get that final push. I think we're getting further with KCKPS, which would be great. But you know how the school districts are being it's taking a little more time to get through all of their pieces that we need to. So crossing our fingers on that. And then
Okay.
yeah, and then I think we can extend to the end of January, but I think we should definitely be targeting mid-January to close. So we can make sure we have the analysis done for ahead of the event.
Natalie, if you could include me in that engagement meeting, I'd like to participate and think about some of the contacts that I've made at the Kansas City, Missouri Public School, and also Hickman Mills and Grandview and Center High Schools, which are more racially diverse and probably would allow us to pick up a larger percentage of students that would represent a broader, spectrum of Kansas City.
Okay, yeah, I'll be sure to do that.
Do you have just like a general link to the survey that you could send me just so I make sure that I'm not using one that's already like the Clay County link by chance?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Here I can put that in chat right now. We have a short link as well as the KZ Sports. So that's the short URL, and then this is the full. Okay. Well, that's it from us. Thank you all.
But besides Wyandotte schools, are you in communication with any other school districts right now?
I think we're talking to Overland Park. But let me.
Blue Valley.
I don't think we've heard, we haven't heard back. So we've reached out to most school districts in the area, but we haven't heard back from a lot of them. So we should reach out to Blue Valley.
Well, yeah, I'd like to turn my attention towards helping you connect to some of these school districts and influencing their hand a little bit in implementation.
That'd be really great.
So let's I've kind of cleared my plate of a lot of other different things that I was focusing on. This weekend I finally kind of completed a big fundraising effort for Big Bros and Big Sisters, and now I'm I'm basically focused on doing the best we can with this survey. I just think it's really critical that we get you everything that you possibly could want or need to fill the information. Because I think it's vital to the next step of what we all are doing. So
That would be awesome.
so yeah. So let's lean in a little bit, Natalie, on this. And I know I've kept saying I'm here to help, but let's intentionalize this to try to get some movement with I specifically Kansas City, Missouri public schools, and then some of these smaller school districts that have the right kids.
And I just, I'm happy to hop on the meeting too. My schedule is just absolutely, like I said, I'm like triple booked a lot of times now. So if I can't be there, I'll just say that given the struggles with schools, we should also not forget all the organizations. We've got all the pro sports teams which run their own leagues, Sporting, Royals. We've got partners within leagues. And I know we're not targeting, kids specifically in sports, but that being said, getting as many voices as possible, and then for that as we analyze things, I think is important. Right.
Yeah,
one of my concerns.
Oh, go ahead.
That's right. I'm just saying one of my concerns is getting too many kids involved in sports and not enough kids that don't actually have a sports background. Or I think that I have a lot of relationships with organizations that have sports as part of their makeup, but those kids will bias the data if we're not careful.
I think I mean, yeah, it'd be best to include everyone. I mean, our sports providers are great resources, and we've had a lot reach out, and we've given them their own unique URLs, and lots of different Parks and Recs departments too, so far. So we're working on that in that pathway as well.
Okay. All right. Well, that's exciting. I think the numbers are great, and I think it's just so fascinating to see how it all plays out. So like I said, let's lean in on helping you guys close it out as quickly as we can.
Perfect. All right, I do have to jump to another meeting, but thanks so much for having us. It was good to see you all. And happy holidays. We'll talk to you soon. I'll actually see you tomorrow. All right, we'll talk tomorrow at your quarterly meeting.
Sabrina,
yeah,
I just had one quick question. Do you know, have we scheduled the next advisory board meeting for the Aspen Institute?
I don't
Okay.
believe so.
Okay. I was talking with someone yesterday and I couldn't remember, and that was my memory too.
We should we'll definitely want to. Did Jennifer mention, I don't know if we're planning on doing an in-person advisory meeting when we're there.
Oh, right.
She did mention that.
When is that?
We're planning, we haven't officially, but week of January 8th. So soon.
Gotcha. Well, I might want to touch base with you because I'm out basically that whole week.
Okay, well then there's that.
I mean, I would like to talk to you guys. You may not want to talk to me, but
Robin.
All right, I've got to run.
We'll figure that out.
Okay.
And we'll let you know shortly.
Okay. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you, Ruby.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll talk
Have
to
a
you
good
tomorrow.
one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Natalie, it's just me and you and Shelly. Oh, Reagan's still here.
Again.
Thanks for joining us, Reagan. See ya.
The only other thing I had on the agenda, Bill, was to talk about if we want to keep our meeting time the same going into 2024. I think
There's no reason to change it.
Okay. I was just checking with you. Some of our other groups were kind of reevaluating.
I mean, let's change it if there's a reason to change it, but at this point,
Okay.
since it's just us, unless Robin wants it to be on at a different time or Shelley wants it to be at a different time, I'm good. So, I think if we had 15 people here and 10 of them wanted us to move it to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, then we'd move it, but we don't have those numbers yet. So I do think
Mhm.
that, those numbers are possible, given, the interest that I'm feeling, that people want to know what's happening, but it's, I think when we
Yeah.
launch Moving Together KC, people are going to want to be a part of stuff, and this will be one of those sectors where people will feel like they can contribute. So, I'm kind of excited about 2024.
Okay. Do you want to meet, like, what time is better for you in the next week or so? Since, like, before Christmas, do you want to meet to talk about these surveys and our plans?
Yeah,
With the
before
teachers?
Christmas.
Okay.
Even Friday would be great.
Okay.
I do leave Monday, but I'm working while I mean, I can meet with you while I'm gone. So, um, I won't be out of pocket. So, but if you could meet Friday, let's do Friday.
Yeah. I think after 11 a.m. I can make something work.
Okay. Friday afternoon then,
Okay,
after
sounds
11.
good.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Bye, Shelley.
Bye.
Have a wonderful